welcome back to the channel. This is my Zell and Xander pull video. Everybody new to the channel, I skip blue orbs and I'll let gold orbs play out. I don't have anybody's kit here, so I'm going to be pulling for everybody and see what I can do with some tickets. As far as Zell and Xander, I don't think it's I don't think new players should be pulling for them. They're okay characters. Zell, I think, is better in the sense that he does more damage, but these are not characters that I think you should be pulling on if you are a new player. There's a lot of characters like Ace that you should be saving up for, or have pulled potentially like for Yuna, stuff like that. But if you didn't, save your resources. Although he's a big damage dealer. If you are a player that is, again, you're barely getting to the game, his kit can be so complicated that it might throw you off completely. And if you are somebody that likes complexity and learning complex things and understanding things, then this is a character for you, because if you don't have a DPS unit, then this is who you could use. So straight into his kit. In this game, a lot of characters, when they use an S1 or S2, it enhances it to the plus version, and the plus just means you get something extra, right, on the attack, on the skill. Here, what makes it confusing is that the skills change name. Instead of just saying Punch Rush, which is a skill 1, you use Punch Rush and you get Punch Rush Plus, it changes the whole name to Burning Rave. So I think the best way to simplify his whole kit is when you use one of his skills, it's going to change both of his skills to their plus versions, which are just different names. His Punch Rush gets converted to Burning Rave. His S2 called Booyah is going to be converted to Meteor Barrage. Now, that is going to probably be the most complicated thing about his kit. It's just the fact of how the names change, but it's the same thing as anybody else. And here I do pull for Zell's LD, but I don't have EX tokens, so I have to try to get his EX. I have to get Xander's EX and Xander's LD. And the only reason I'm pulling here is honestly because I've gotten so lucky with all my other pull videos that I have enough resources to spend and say, you know, why not? So back to Zell. Both of his skill 1 and skill 2 are going to give him a buff called Duel. Duel is going to be more attack, significantly more attack, 50% more attack, more brave gains, more critical damage, more HP damage, more brave damage. So having that buff on is going to help him tremendously. The only issue is that when the buff is on, that is when his skills get converted to their plus versions. Once you use the plus version once, it removes the buff. So you're just switching between the plus and non-plus version. That is the main thing to think about this, or to think about when you think about his kit. Now, both skills also inflict a defense down for 3 turns of 60%. So that's a significant defense down. And that's the only thing you should really think about when you're thinking about his S1 and S2. S1 is going to do splash damage on its enhanced version, and his S2, Meteor Barrage, is going to hit tremendously hard because it does a 3-hit Brave HP attack to one target 3 times. So think about like Tifa's, I think it's called what? Beat Rush, something like that, where it's her, I think it's her S1 skill. It just does a lot of damage to one character. So if you're targeting one particular enemy, then you want to use the enhanced version of the S2. If you want to do splash damage, you would use the S1. Then you're going to go into his LD. LD is the same thing, except in order to get the enhanced version of his LD, you first have to use the LD. It gives you a buff. You have to take 4 turns, and after 4 turns, you get the plus version called My Final Heaven. And each time you take a turn, that buff stack goes up. It's called Light Speed Special. And every stack, you normally get a little bit more brave and HP damage, stuff like that, but you also get the ability to unbreak a target before attacking and get an instant free turn. That is between the 1 and 2 stacks. It's the same thing. It doesn't change between 1 and 2. At 3, you get a little bit more brave and HP damage, and at 4, it converts his LD to its plus version called My Final Heaven. And that's the only attack that you could use. You're forced to use it. So the way to probably use Zell is to use his S1 or S2, get the dual buff on him, which is going to enhance his attack and his damage, then use his LD to maximize the power of this LD, and then at that point start using his S1 and S2 again. That is how you're going to, I think, be using Zell 99% of the time. and that's all there is to his kit. His EX, at that point, same thing. It does give him duel for 6 turns, ignores defense, so it's gonna hit pretty hard. It's a 9-hit Brave HP attack, and it's gonna do 50% splash damage. I think that is a thing you should take. That is a thing that you should really just consider and say, that's all I need to know for him. At that point, I'm gonna go now into Xande. Xande, he can do decent damage, but the reason I'm pulling for him is because he does do Dark Imperil and Enchant. He's a magic attacker. He hits fairly hard, and he does unbreak enemies with his LD, kind of, he unbreaks all enemies, kind of like Strago does. He is going to be doing fire and dark damage with his S1, and then he's going to do earth and dark damage with his S2, and then dark and earth damage with his EX. So he is nothing special. He will enchant the party again for dark, and he does do splash damage, which all you have to really think about with him is getting his circus tower buffs up or his stacks up. Again, it's not something I think new players should be pulling on, and I do pull everything I need. 2 LDs and 2 EXs with 172 tickets, but I still haven't got X that's burst. If you do pull, good luck. Hey guys, thanks for watching, and make sure you like, subscribe, turn on notifications, and let me know in the comments what you think about the banner, if you use tickets or gems, and also check out the links in the description for Opera Omnia websites that give you a bunch of useful information, and I'll see you in the next one.